It's dark out. The lights are turned off. Everyone else fell asleep hours ago. And yet, here I am, clicking like a maniac. Lately, I've been obsessed with competitive FPS games. While it's been fun, oh, it's big. I'm killing them all. I've realized good aim is not something that comes naturally to me. I have friends that pick up a game and just start running around, cracking heads and destroying the other team. But not me. I've always had to work really hard on mechanics in order to get better. And to make up for my lack of aim, I've had to focus on developing game sense. But I've wondered, if I really focused on improving my aim, could I will my way into becoming a new, better person? A person where razor-sharp aim comes naturally? Or am I doomed to have average aim for the rest of my very life? Out of desperation, I got help from a friend. Hey man, my aim is shit.
Yeah, I've noticed.
You should try an aim trainer. Oh, that sounds cool. What is that? But then he said in the most serious voice,
but you can't just do it once or twice. You have to do it daily, at least 30 minutes a day.
Haha, no, that's way too much work. But after pondering all of the missed kills and poor aim,
They're all peeking, there's 3 of them.
and the endless pain and humiliation I felt along with it. Wait, I can't hit her. I can't hit her. She's too fast. Okay, I'll do it. I will aim train for 30 days. So this is Aimlabs. This is what I'll be using for the next 30 days to get godlike aim. Flicking, tracking, precision. I literally just installed this, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, let's test it out. This might be more complicated than I thought. Okay, it's been a day. Let's walk you through what I've learned. First of all, Aimlabs has some weird stuff. What the heck? Wait, is Aimlabs sponsored by Dunkin'? What am I playing right now? Are these coffee beans? No, they're donut holes. And I figured out what everyone actually cares about. It's called Gridshot Ultimate. It's this test where balloons pop up and you start shooting them as fast as possible. But what really matters is your score. It is the #1 vanity metric for measuring your aim. Similar to your typing speed. Hey, not bad. Your bench press and the size of your But I'm definitely not motivated by stuff like ego or validation through meaningless numbers. So naturally, I decided to focus on Gridshot. My first run, I hit a score of 50,000. Alright, not bad. Oh wait, what's that? Tens has a score of 133,000.
That's my highest.
With this horrible starting point, I needed to push myself if I wanted my aim to improve. So I set a goal to double my score by the end of the 30 days. 100k seemed doable. Big numbers go brrr. But I can't only play Gridshot. I need to do a variety of exercises if I want snappy aim. So I experimented with some more stuff and eventually stumbled onto these 2 playlists, Valorant and Overwatch. They dump you into scenarios that are similar to both respective games. So the aim, it should carry over. And my god, the differences between the 2 playlists are staggering. The Valorant playlist, it's relaxing and fun. But the Overwatch playlist is a fever dream! And just like that, the routine was coming together. I'd spend the first half of the session on Gridshot, and then I'd do the second half with a mix of the Valorant and Overwatch playlists. Then, jump into competitive matches and see if it helped me play any better. I started off the challenge, and I was off with a bang. The first day, I hit 5 new PRs in Gridshot. Hey, look at that. The other training scenarios also saw increases across the board. And by day 5, I had a new score with a whopping high of 72,000. In my Valorant and Overwatch games, I'll admit, my aim didn't really feel amazing yet. I still whiffed a lot of shots and lost several winnable gunfights, so I did feel ever so slightly more consistent. And at this rate, with PRs nearly every day, I was on track to blow through my goal of 100,000 points in Gridshot. But what I didn't realize is, my beginner gains were about to wear off. And sure enough, over the next few days, it got harder and harder to hit daily PRs. It hurt me more than I'm proud to admit. Oh, so close. I had become nothing but a slave to the numbers. I started this challenge wanting to focus on improving my aim, but I already lost myself in the desperate grind to see the numbers go up. And now that that stimulus was drying up like an empty well, I could feel the increasing grind of Aimlabs weighing on my very soul. So it's a new day, Aimlabs, and I'm just gonna try something a little different here. Instead of trying to hit a new PR every single game, I'm just gonna go out there and try and beat my average score. I need something to hang on to here, or I feel like I'm just gonna go crazy. So average score, go up, sprig, happy. All right, let's see. Oh wait, or I can just hit a new PR. Well, that's awesome. But you see that 20% increase there? As long as that is 1% or higher, I'm happy. I'm chilling. And to avoid focusing too much on the score, I also tried to maintain accuracy over 90%. At the end of the challenge, I want the aim to translate over in-game, so accuracy and consistency are key. Some people say, practice makes perfect. But in reality, practice makes permanent. And I couldn't let bad habits like poor accuracy slide through. Day after day, I saw my average score climb. When your old PRs become your new average, you know you've reached a new tier of skill. It feels good. It feels sustainable. And in Valorant, I actually felt my aim get crispier. I wasn't exactly cracking heads every time, but I could reliably hit body shots and put out consistent damage every game. I felt as if I knew the exact distance my mouse needed to move without even thinking about it. On one match, I was on Breeze, left in a 1v3. The other team planted the spike. It was time for my aim to shine. I popped the first person with the Spectre across the map, leaving me in a 1v2. With a few bullets left, I took out the second guy. But at this point, my gun had ran out of ammo. To avoid making the reload noise, I switched to my secondary and popped the final enemy left. I defused the spike and won this crucial round for my team. Aimlabs had to be working. I knew it. Aimlabs? Wait, how did they know? And on day 10, I finally cracked 80,000 points. Woo! 80,000. I celebrated and tried my best to savor the moment because deep down, I knew the progress would eventually stop. And stop, it did. My average score was getting harder and harder to keep up with. The one metric I could use to make sure I was improving started to fail me. Only on days where I felt amazing could I ever so slightly push past my average score, but it was never enough to hit a new high. And on days where I was tired and weary, the average score felt impossible to beat. I hit a wall that was made of solid concrete, but I didn't have the tools to break through it. Continuing like this would leave me stuck at 80,000 points. In order to hit that 100,000 Gridshot score, I would need to try something different. I found a guide on YouTube, and he recommended something that only a true maniac would do. He trained Gridshot with a metronome. There's no way that can work, right?
I find that counting 1, 2, 3, 4 with the metronome helps with internalizing the tempo.
I'm not trying to learn the piano. I just want to click these freaking virtual balloons faster. But at this point, I was willing to try anything. I started with a slow beat, and every time I heard the beat, I would click the balloon. Beep, click, beep, click, beep, click. It felt too easy. There was no way this would help. I turned up the speed. Beep, click, beep, click, beep, click. Okay, it's getting a little tougher now, but it was still too easy. Beep, click, beep, click, beep, click. And then my brain stopped working, and it all fell apart. It was too fast. I couldn't find the right balance between too easy and too hard. Plus, I already felt like a crazy person clicking pixel balloons all day, but when you start counting to a beat while also doing it, you know you've really lost your 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just let it end! In reality, the metronome is supposed to work as a tool to keep your speed high without your accuracy failing too much. But after my experience, I came to learn that using a metronome for Gridshot is inherently flawed. You see, Gridshot, there are 3 balloons up at a time and they spawn randomly on a 5x5 grid. There's a chance for the balloon to be right next to the balloon you just popped, or it could spawn all the way across the grid. Because of this, my accuracy of the balloons that spawn far apart would be horrible, whilst other people swear by it. The metronome have failed me. However, I did use it as inspiration and started to listen to high BPM songs while training. It made aim training way more fun for sure, but I don't know how much it actually helped with my aim. Wait, what if someone made an aim trainer with music that would force you to click on the beat? That would be amazing. While the metronome was a dead end, the idea of training your speed with the metronome stuck with me. I designed my own way to click faster than I could ever imagine. I call it Gridshot speed training. You open up Gridshot Ultimate and pick the 2 balloons that are furthest apart, and you click them as fast as humanly possible, and you work your way through the exercise in pairs. You go pop, 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 and eventually you shorten the time between each pair. So it's pop, 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 pop. I couldn't tell if I was losing my shit or if I was actually onto something. But in games, my flicks felt crispy. My reaction time was getting better. I was able to flick extremely fast on the enemy before they even had a chance to shoot me. My aim had reached a new level. I was no longer afraid to boot up a game of Overwatch and lock in a hit scan character like Cassidy and start left clicking fools like no tomorrow. The only thing is, I realized how much aim doesn't actually matter in games. In Overwatch, you live or die, mostly from your positioning. Out in the open, boom, shot by Widowmaker. In Valorant, you live or die, mostly from your crosshair placement. Your crosshair's 1mm off the enemy's head, boom, dead. If you want to get better at gaming, specificity matters. And sometimes, you can win without even shooting a single bullet. day after day, I felt my motivation continue to slowly drip away. On days when I felt no progress, I would get extremely frustrated. And to make matters worse, my arms would get so tired from training, they would stiffen up and make my aim even worse. My aim is noticeably worse today. For the sake of my sanity and the sake of my body, I took a week off to give myself time to readjust. But when I came back, my aim felt sluggish and weak. Things just felt different. I was less motivated, uninterested, and just bored while aim training. I felt no progress at all. It's like I had forgotten everything I had learned. And after talking to my Valorant coach, I came across the most simple solution to my aiming problem. He realized my aim was shaky and unreliable, so he recommended I turn down my sensitivity, and that turned out to be the very key to the next stage of progress. What happened next, I'll never forget. I turned down my sensitivity, and I hit a PR. PR, yeah, let's go! Then I turned down my sensitivity again, and I hit another PR. Hey. But I might not have ever noticed I was handicapped had I not been focusing on my aim so much. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the complicated matters, that you fail to recognize the simple stuff. My new high score had climbed to 89,180, a mere 10,000 points away from the beautiful number, 100,000. But the remaining days of the challenge were disappearing rapidly, but the progress was nowhere to be found. I had plateaued. And as day 30 came around, I accept my final score of 89,180. I didn't achieve my goal, but there was an overwhelming sense of relief that this challenge was over, and I was proud of myself for sticking through the grueling hours of aim training, and for the fact that I was able to leave with my sanity still intact. Or was it ever there to begin with?